Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to what is the difference between Sanatan Dharma and Hindu Dharm. Again, I talked about actually the spelling of these things, like Dharma and Dharm. Apparently they're actually the same, it's just because of the cultural language, which, okay. So now I understand why I figured there might be a difference maybe, but I think it's just in terms of perhaps where Sanatan Dharma was, I guess, the idea was from versus Hindu Dharma, where that idea is from, say, like say from the north or in the south. A little bit of a spelling difference, but like karma and karm, um, jnana and gyan, um, bhakti. I don't know if bhakti has one, but anyways, the idea is still there. So I don't know if I've ever heard of Hindu Dharma. I know I've heard of Sanatan Dharma, and Dharma in general, I believe. Which let's make myself look like a fool here. I believe, if I remember correctly, Dharma is essentially your duty. Um, and I did remember some time ago, I did read a little bit, if I remember correctly, it's essentially doing righteousness or doing what's right. So, anyways, let's go ahead and give this video a shot.
Yes, this confuses a lot of people. First of all, the word Hinduism, what is origin? Buddhism comes from the word from the prophet called Buddha. The followers of Buddha are called Buddhists, and the religion is called Buddhism. Followers of Christ are called Christians, and this is Christianity. Now, Hinduism doesn't have that kind of background of some one individual prophet to set us off. The word Hindu is merely a mispronunciation of an ancient river that flowed in northwest part of India called River Sindhu. In Sanskrit, means
Huh.
a vast amount of water. Now that river was mispronounced from Sindhu to Hindu, and that is how we acquired the name that we are Hindus. And then this particular name was again further mispronounced as Indus, from her, so how it became so it became river Indus. It still flows in that part of the world, and the people of living across the river Indus were called people of Indo or India. So we acquired the name Hindu and the word India as a mispronunciation of the name of a river Sindhu. The tradition that we belong to, Dharma, is something different. It says really, it's not even a religion in the normal sense. Religion means realigning humanity with some super personality called God. We are saying, no, we are not that. Dharma means sorting ourselves out, sorting our human condition out. Who the heck are we? What are we doing here? How do we resolve our human condition? This is the definition of the word dharma. So the word dharma is a kind of much more, in fact, if you really look at the definition of the word dharma, it is not any different from the word science, making sense of the world that we live in and sorting it out and using the information we learn for our betterment. Science is precisely that. So dharma is really more related to the word science than the word religion. So be aware. And the word Hinduism is purely mispronunciation of the name of a river.
Okay, I might have missed it, but did he talk about the difference between Sanatan Dharma and Hindu Dharma? If he did, I must have blanked out or something. Um, Hold on, I'm gonna pause real quick. Okay, so I'm gonna play that part back again.
The tradition that we belong to, Dharma, is something different. It says really, it's not even a religion in the normal sense. Religion means realigning humanity with some super personality called God. We are saying, no, we are not that. Dharma means sorting ourselves out, sorting our human condition out. Who the heck are we? What are we doing here? How do we resolve our human condition? This is the definition of the word dharma. So the word dharma is a kind of much more, in fact, if you really look at the definition of the word dharma, it is not any different from the word science, making sense of the world that we live in and sorting it out and using the information we learn for our betterment. Science is precisely that. So dharma is really more related to the word science than the word religion. So be aware. And the word Hinduism is purely mispronunciation of the name of a river.
Okay, so he did define Dharma as trying to figure things out in a sense, more related to science than religion. I did actually Google searched it. Let me go ahead and do it again. And now again, I don't necessarily um, I won't say trust Google's translation. It's just that sometimes there's a little bit more meaning behind it, a little bit more contextual, cultural meaning behind it, especially those within the religion itself. I know Google tries its best, or even dictionaries, Oxford or whatever, tries to do their best in defining it, and they get it right for the most part, but sometimes it's missing some things. That's the reason why I always ask, is because, yeah, I can look it up, but it's missing a touch of flavor. Just missing a little bit more of the cultural aspect of it sometimes. Not all the time. So, when I was reading it here, and the eternal inherent nature of reality regarding Hinduism as the cosmic law underlying right behavior of social order. In Buddhism, the nature of reality regarding the universe, truth taught by Buddha, the teaching of Buddhism, an aspect of truth or reality. Now, does that sound like Dharma to you? And mind you, just listening to those words specifically without you adding in your knowledge to it. If you were just read that and it says, okay, what is the meaning? What's the word that defines that? You'd say it's like, well, it has a lot of the right words that kind of relates to Dharma, but it's just a bit weird. So there's another definition that they had that was actually a little bit more. Oh, that. Oh man, this one goes the AI one. Essential concept in Buddhism. Well, it says the Dharma is the concept of multiple meanings across religion, including Buddhism and Hinduism. Buddhism's is about the Four Noble Truths. Hinduism says the Dharma includes duties, rights, laws, conduct, virtues, and the right way of living. Some say the Dharma rests in the four pillars: truthfulness, satyam, compassion, daya, austerity, tapa, and cleanliness, succum. I'm not sure how. Shaucham. But anyway, so again, there's multiple definitions of things, and some, like I said, I like people to kind of define it because they can kind of say it in English, meaning that you definitions tends to be a bit complicated sometimes, especially if it's a definition of something you've never heard of before or don't have any understanding of it and need a little bit of a translation, if you know what I mean. I keep doing this because I want you to understand that there's a bit more of a concept to the word or the definition and stuff. So, um, don't know if he really said anything about Sanatana Dharma or Hindu Dharma. He did define Dharm, sorry. He did define Dharma. He did define the fact that Hindu is just a mispronunciation of the Hindu River, I believe. I know, what is it? Sadhguru talks about the country of India, I believe, being called Hindustan. So I don't know. I mean, it kind of just brought that up because of, or my mind brought it up because whenever we started talking about how, I guess, kind of the people there were called, maybe I can't. Let me see if I can find that part.
that we are Hindus. And then now that river was mispronounced from Sindhu to Hindu. And that is how we acquired the name that we are Hindus.
So Hindu apparently was just a mispronunciation, but it's kind of weird. I don't know. Has the people of India considered itself Hindu? I mean, I know India wasn't a complete continent until somewhat recently, and there could be major parts of India that were probably considered themselves Hindu. I don't know. I don't know the history of India. Although I think I do remember seeing a map of the olden times where there's a segment of India in the south that was not part of India. And this was before colonization, I believe, which I think a king in India had a major portion of India besides a small segment in the bottom. I can't remember, and I think that was probably the tale of. Again, I don't know for sure. I'm just spitting out what I know, and you can correct me in the comments below. But I do remember watching a video about this king going down south essentially without an army at first, but then started gathering an army as he headed south to retrieve his wife. Now, I don't know if that's the reality of it. I do remember that, and the fact that there's a small piecing part of India in the past, if I remember seeing correctly, and that would seem to line up in my mind. But again, could be completely wrong on that one. Let me know. Anyway, talked a little bit too much here, so that's my reaction. So, what's the difference between Sanatana? That's my reaction to Sanatan Dharma and Hindu Dharm. If I would just slow down a little bit. So if you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up the sound down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.